Hey everyone, it's Kenjay. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I wanted to share a story of the first time I've ever experienced someone being directly racist towards me, while I was also saying a lot of prejudiced terms that I'm not gonna get into right now. However, the reason why I wanted to put this video together is to, one, address that, yes, racism still exists today, and even if you use racist terms and you say you're not racist, why did you say the racist term to begin with? So that's number one. And number two, I wanted to share my story because I feel that if you hear it from somebody that you know and love and care about, you're able to kind of connect with them and empathize with them and really know like, hey, like this person actually goes through this, and I'm sure there are other people out there who do as well. So I think it's important to highlight these stories, and hopefully you guys have stories of your own that you can share so that other people can really humanize you and really empathize with your situation and really understand what we go through and what we live through. Without further ado, before I get into the video, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to my channel, and also follow me on my socials at Simply Kenjay. Now, let's get to the story. So let me take you guys back to my college years. So back in 2009, 2010, I was a sophomore in college and I was an RA for this specific building. Had such a great experience in college. I don't regret anything. I was living my best life. I was living my best authentic life, and I was having a good time. And as an RA, we do have to kind of enforce different rules and make sure that people are, well behaved. And so there was one night where I was with my friends outside in my building. We were just chatting, doing what we do, kikiing, whatever. And it was pretty late, and it was past, the time where it was quiet hours. So I remember hearing just laughing, talking on a balcony on the second floor. And I just kind of glanced up just to see who it was. And they looked back at me. These are white boys, by the way. They kind of looked at me and they were like, "What are you looking at?" And I was like, "Excuse me?" I'm like, "What did you just say to me?" And they said it again, and I was like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Do you want to say that to my face?" And they're like, "Ha ha ha ha," and then they go back inside. And I was like, "Did you guys just hear what they just said to me?" And my friends didn't catch what they said, which that kind of upset me, because I was like, "How did you not hear them say the N-word and the F-word at the same time? What were you guys doing?" I remember at that moment I was so heated. I went from 0 to 100, and then all these thoughts came to my mind, if I do anything, I lose a scholarship. If I fight them or act crazy or act out because of what they said, this is something that I could potentially lose. And so I'm super frustrated. I just remember going inside the building, and I was like, I have to write this incident report, because if I don't write it now, then I'm not gonna remember everything that happened. And so I ended up getting my computer, writing this all down, and saying, I was like, okay, these boys are gonna get, they're gonna get written up or something, because I'm not dealing with their racist and prejudice behind. So I ended up going and meeting with the director of residential life, who was actually living in the same building. So I met with him and I told him the situation of what happened, and I wrote it down, gave him the incident report, and he's like, "Oh wow, that's crazy, I'll talk with them." And mind you, the director himself was gay, a white gay male at that, very important. So he ends up meeting with them, talks to them, and then he meets with me again. And he tells me, he's like, "Oh yeah, so I spoke with them, and they were saying oh, they didn't say those things, that they didn't know what I was talking about." And I was like, really? I was like, why would I write this incident report and give it to you if they didn't say it? That would be wasting my time. So for me, I felt like the director was taking their side and wasn't really willing to do something about it, because what? They're white and they can get away with it. So I felt so powerless. I felt like if they can get away with saying those things, like what else could they get away with? To be honest, I was like, okay. So nothing happens to them. They don't get in trouble. I think maybe they got a warning, whatever. And just throughout the few months that I was, there as an RA, these boys would just literally give me the death stare, and honestly, it was very it was very threatening, like they were gonna do something. And so I never feared for my life. I just kind of feared for the things that I had. Like I had my car there, so I was like, they know what car I drive, so I was worried that they would do something to my car, or I don't know, that they would like try to start something again. Thankfully, nothing like that happened, but to have experienced something like that, and also experience like, I don't know, how would you say, like this very not harassment, but like these threatening glares from them all the time was just super. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, why am I dealing with this? So I was like, okay, like that was that one moment, but it was that first moment that I've ever faced something like that. And when I think back about like, have I ever faced any other racism or any racist comments from anyone? I can't think of anything else except for that moment, because it was just something that stuck out to me so much, and it affected me in a way that I was like, wow, like this is still happening. It's 2009, 2010, and there's still people who say racist things. Like I know that racism existed, but I never had it like happen to me. So like I was like, okay, this is like something that happens, obviously, but I know that many of my friends that I've known growing up and known in college and know now specifically still face it every single day. And I think it's important that we have these stories told and shared, because we need to be able to call those people out. I'm so glad that we were seeing people who are being caught on camera saying these racist things, and having them have the repercussions of their racist acts. I think it's super important for us to keep speaking out and keep continuing to naming those people who are doing it. So I hope that this video inspires you to share your own story, so that people know what you've gone through, what you continue to go through on a day-to-day basis. Because if your story isn't told, then no one's gonna know what you're going through. And I would love to be there to not only support you, but to also empathize with your story, and to also be a support system for you with everything that you have gone through. And yeah, so if you like this video, you guys, just like I said, go ahead, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on my socials. I know I won't be as deep in my other videos, but I feel like this video was meant to happen and it needed to happen. So until my next video, you guys, stay safe, stay healthy, be well, stay hydrated, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!